What's going on, guys? Welcome to Cruising with Kevin. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to wire up your alternator for your LS swapped vehicle, whatever it's in. So if you have a carburetor or whatever and you need to run that alternator with basically a one-wire setup or two-wire setup, I guess we could call it in this particular case, I'm going to show you guys all about that today. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so beside me here we've got my 1985 Camaro. It's been LS swapped. This thing has a 6-liter in it, but that's not really the point of this video here. So I wanted to show you guys some of the trouble that I had, and there wasn't a whole lot of explanation out there when I was looking for this, and so I thought I'd just make a quick video kind of telling you guys how to kind of do this if you guys are working on this, and how to kind of basically wire this up, because it seems like there's a lot of information out there, but maybe not a lot of accurate information. So the first alternator I got here, this is the one that actually I just pulled off of the car. And so this is actually one of the alternators that came with this. I bought this engine, is basically complete, ready to drop in, had all the accessories and everything. I had never done an LS swap before, and so there wasn't I was rushing also, and there wasn't a bunch of information on it. And so I'll show you guys what this one is. So this one is what they would call a 2-wire alternator. And so, like, I just sort of thought it would be like the factory one from the older Gen 1 small block Chevys, and wired it up the same way. So basically I just had one from the post to power, and then I basically had I guess what I thought was a trigger wire. And so the problem with that is, if you have 12 volts constant going into this, which is what happened here, I basically connected up the connector here. I used 12 volt power going basically as the igniter off of ignition power, and it ended up burning out the alternator, and I didn't really know why. Now I've kind of had some theories here. Some people say that the 2 wires don't need the resistor. So the ICT billet sells a connector like this that has basically a resistor built into it. And what it kind of does there is it basically drops the voltage down for you, because apparently if it's feeding, it's not acting like an actual, it's not acting like an igniter like the old GM alternators did. I'll kind of explain that here a little bit better. All right, I think where the bulk of the confusion comes in for people here is that there's the 2-wire alternator and the 4-wire, and it seems like the 4-wire is a lot more prevalent. So the people that have the 2-wire, it just seems like it's a problem. Obviously, I only ran this car for, it's probably only got, you know, a couple hundred miles on it basically since I put this engine in here, and so obviously it's an issue because it burnt out that alternator. So the whole point of the resistor wire is basically you connect it up. I'll show you kind of on the plug here. So I switched it over to a 4-wire alternator, and I'll show you why here. All right, guys, so I actually just had this laying around. That was the main reason. Also, you can order the 4-wire resistor wires from Amazon, eBay, whatever, a lot easier than you can find the 2-wire. But ICT billet does make the 2-wire one there. So I'll show you kind of what this is. Let me get this unplugged here so I can show you exactly how this wire goes. Now, you can make your own. I just don't think, if you're going to the expense of LS swapping something, this is a $15 part. So I don't really see the point of it, but so you can see here, it's on the 3rd pin. If you guys can see that a little bit better. So it's 1, 2, 3 in, and then of course it's up and down like this. So second from the right here. And if you guys look close enough here, you can actually see this is where the resistor is. So I actually cut this back a little bit there, but make sure you don't cut it too short because of the resistor. And so all of this wire does here is it goes to 12 volt ignition power. And basically the simplest way to explain it is, all it does is when you turn the key on, it just tells the alternator to make power. That's it. It's not really an exciter wire like they used to be. All right, the next thing I want to show you, because this seems, again, with the LS swaps, this seems to get confused a lot of the times, because from the factory, the main wire that fed off of the post here basically used to run behind and down, and I don't think a lot of people really actually knew where it went to, but essentially it's going to the battery. So I think from the factory, the wire actually used to go down to the starter, I think is how it was. But basically all this is the wire that actually feeds in the power to the actual battery from the alternator. So that's basically your main power that kind of charges everything there. And so on mine, I just have this wired up. I just had this extra wire here, probably tidy this up a little bit, but this was laying here, so I just put it in. But essentially that's what it is. You basically just connect this up to your battery. So having live power to that post doesn't hurt anything back there. I'll tell you a couple other things here. So I suppose first of all, I'll tell you, I will link it in the description, just this resistor. I bought this thing off Amazon. Like I said, it was $15, I believe. Pretty cheap. And you just cut it back and make sure you don't cut that resistor. So between the two here, you can see there's a little bit of a difference from the two alternators here. And the biggest problem for me personally, and you can probably see this if you look here, so when I put this car together, I was rushing it together for the duct tape drags, and I'd never LS swapped anything. And so I knew there was going to be a whole bunch of mess of problems that kind of came with that. And so one of the biggest problem was I knew it was going to hit the hood here. And so I actually got my wife to go pick me up a cowl hood, and ended up not being a cowl right here. I thought it was going to be open and it wasn't, so we hacked that out. And the main reason was, as you can see, that original 2-wire alternator had the post at the top. And so even though it might have cleared the hood here, I was worried about this touching, because this is the main power, of course. And so I was worried about this touching the top of the hood and arcing out. So you can see on this new alternator now, this is the 4-wire one, it's got the post on the back. And so that's not going to be an issue anymore. If I would have had that to begin with, that wouldn't have been an issue at the time. I didn't know about this resistor wire thing at that particular time, but obviously it's a real thing here. So now that I got that fixed, everything should be charging again and everything like that. But yeah, it is something that's obviously a really common problem for people. So it's literally as simple as that. This one wire here that comes into the resistor plug there, just wired up to 12-volt power. On ignition though, has to be on ignition. You don't want live power there all the time. And basically what it does is it just drops it down to apparently it drops it down to like 5 volts or something like that. So it just kind of drops the voltage so that it doesn't burn out the alternator. And then your other one going to your post there, it just can go straight to your battery or however you want to do it, as long as it's going to live power and you have a heavy enough gauge wire there. So that's about it, guys. So I just wanted to show you guys, this was a very common problem out there and a lot of people ask, and I just wanted to show you a very simple video on how to do this. So like always, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share me around on social media, hype the video, do whatever you guys do, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.